Hey YouTube, Joelboy here. So I got a mystery discussion for y'all today. This one is really awesome. One of my absolute favorite hints that Oda has given us to something mysterious going on in One Piece. And I really haven't seen any just mind-blowing explanation for this. And then there's a little bit of confusion about this as well on top of it. But I really wanted to discuss Jewelry Bonney and her connection to Whitebeard. So firstly, this became an actual thing to speculate on whenever Bonney is shown crying after observing the events at Marineford. Now, there's some confusion within the community as to what she's actually crying about. Some other people think that maybe she's crying about Ace, and this somehow relates to Ace being Bonney's girlfriend or has some sort of relationship with Ace, but I don't believe this is true for a couple reasons. But the first reason is when you look at the actual context of what's going on with Bonney crying, the main event that happened just before this was the betrayal of Squardo on Whitebeard, and the allegations that Whitebeard had somehow was planning on betraying his crew, and that's why Squardo stabbed him. And then we can see just before Bonney is shown crying, the other supernovas are also commenting on the hot topic of that chapter, which was again Whitebeard potentially having betrayed his allied captains for Ace, showing some sort of preference for Ace. So this clearly for me links Bonney with Whitebeard. And then later on we see after the death of Whitebeard, Bonney says that she is going to go get that man. And then later on we see that Blackbeard has defeated Bonney, and I think it highly suggests that Bonney actually went after Blackbeard after Blackbeard had killed Whitebeard specifically. Blackbeard being the one who killed Whitebeard, went after him and then eventually got beat and then handed over to the government. And then, as we all know, she somehow escaped later, which is another mystery as well. But definitely there's a huge tie between Jewelry Bonney and Whitebeard. And this is pretty much absolutely inexplicable based on any theory that I've read. There's no theory out there that screams to me like, yes, this is the answer. It seems like the only real idea that came out after this was I actually got this theory through Boris Anime. I'm not sure who actually created the theory, but there's some speculation that maybe Whitebeard is Bonnie's father. And whether or not we can prove or disprove this, we can't. It just doesn't quite feel right, but it could be right. I definitely can't disprove the thought at all. But it's just so out there. It seems like Whitebeard wouldn't be the kind of person to actually produce his own children, since he was looking to sort of acquire a family through the New World and the pirates that he found there that he brought underneath his wing. And so I want to bring up another theory right now, and this is a theory that I actually believe is true, which is that I believe that Bonney is the daughter of Big Mom. And I believe this for several reasons, but the main reason is, the main two reasons really are, first of all, the lipstick. Bonney happens to have the same lipstick design as Big Mom herself. She also has the same sort of lipstick design as Lola, who is now confirmed to be Big Mom's daughter. So all these things are sort of tied together that this lipstick might actually be something that's related specifically to Big Mom. The only outlier that I can really find at this point in time is actually from Water 7. And you'll find a character there as well who has the same sort of lipstick, and that's Kokoro. And I'm not sure what Kokoro's relationship with Big Mom would be, but it is interesting that she is in fact a mermaid. So she is a part of one of the races of One Piece that would be protected in Big Mom's Totland. So there might actually be a connection there. But just from I guess what the general consensus is that Big Mom is sort of evil. Kokoro being obviously a really good character. A lot of people wouldn't necessarily agree with this connection. My thoughts tend to make this connection more valid, but I'm just going to throw this out here. That's really the only example that I know of a character with a lipstick that doesn't have any obvious ties to Big Mom. And the second reason that I think that Jewelry Bonney is related to Big Mom and might be one of Big Mom's daughters is that if you look at her ship, it actually looks very similar to the Big Mom's ship. It's the same sort of design, the same sort of concept, and given that Oda has so many options available for him to choose the designs of ship, and for him to choose a design that really is incredibly exactly the same as Big Mom's, definitely for me is the strongest evidence out there that Jewelry Bonney is Big Mom's daughter. And then we can look at some other facts as well, which is that Jewelry Bonney has an eating theme that is shared with Big Mom. Jewelry Bonney seems to like more savory foods rather than sweet, but still the eating theme is there. As well as Big Mom, we know, has a ton of children. and it really opens the door for the possibility that a lot of characters that we know of could potentially be Big Mom's daughter. And I think the strongest candidate outside of Lola right now of characters that we've already met is Jewelry Bonney. And so using this connection with the observed obvious connection that Jewelry Bonney seems to have with Whitebeard, one could maybe assume that Jewelry Bonney is the daughter of Big Mom and Whitebeard. Yet again, I'm not really sold on the idea that Jewelry Bonney is the child of Whitebeard in the first place. But yet again, I can't disprove this notion. I definitely think that the possibility is available to us. It just doesn't feel right. But again, just throwing this out there because this is a thought that people had. And I really can't see any obvious reasons why it definitely can't be the case. And so I want to bring up some other things regarding Bonney that I think are really interesting as well, which is if you've guys seen my theory about the symbol of the sun in One Piece, we find this symbol everywhere, but specifically on people that are associated with the Ancient Kingdom in some way or are good characters who could potentially have some association with the Ancient Kingdom. And so another person who shares this symbol is Jewelry Bonney. If you see her leggings, in one of the scenes that she's introduced, she actually has her leggings, there's the sun symbol, and there's sort of like this connecting little lines as well to all the sun symbols on her leggings, potentially tying Bonney together with some sort of Ancient Kingdom relationship as well. And this is really interesting given the context of Whitebeard having been, as I stated in a previous theory, sort of connected to Roger and sort of carrying on Roger's vision after Roger had died. And definitely he knows about the D's, he knows about at least a little bit of the history, I feel like. And so this definitely is something that would make a lot of sense if Bonney has some sort of relationship with Whitebeard. And I've done another theory where I think that Big Mom is part of this group of strong pirates from back in Roger's era who sort of are helping prepare the new era for somebody to carry on Roger's dream. And so I guess there's a lot of people out there who don't believe this is true, but I'm going to throw this out here as well, which is that I really believe that Bonney is Big Mom's daughter. Whether or not she's Whitebeard's daughter, I'm not exactly 100% sure, but there is some connection there. And so if we include this Ancient Kingdom connection as well, maybe if she's only Big Mom's daughter and not Whitebeard's daughter, but somehow has some connection with Whitebeard, this one might be a connection between Big Mom and Whitebeard that we're not yet fully aware of yet. But my one hesitation for bringing up this idea is that Whitebeard ended up going to Marineford and ended up dying, and we see that Shanks intervened in this war. Kaido also planned to intervene in this war, but he was cut off by Shanks. And Big Mom doesn't seem to be doing anything. She didn't really involve herself in this war at all. And so if she really cared for Whitebeard or in some way was a friend of Whitebeard, you would think that she would have done something to help him. But we don't know enough about Big Mom's character to really say for certain what she would or wouldn't do in this kind of situation. But I definitely think that if she was some sort of friend to Whitebeard, or lover or whatever she might have been, that it's kind of odd that she wouldn't have gone and tried to help Whitebeard retrieve Ace, given how that battle would have, I think, in the eyes of the world, ended up in Whitebeard's defeat. Another thing that I want to throw in here is that there seems to be some sort of connection between Bakken and Big Mom. Bakken wearing the same glasses that we can see on Peckham's and Tamago, maybe making Bakken a subordinate or a relative of Big Mom. She also has the same sort of hat that Lola has, and Lola is pretty much confirmed to be Big Mom's daughter. So there's a connection between Bakken and Big Mom, and then we can also see a connection between Bakken and Whitebeard, which is that Bakken seems to think that she was a lover of Whitebeard, or at least is planting that idea in her son's quote-unquote head, Edward Weevil. And so this again would be an additional tie between someone that we think is connected with Big Mom and Whitebeard. But yeah, I think that this connection to Whitebeard that Bonney has been foreshadowed enough for us to really be almost certain that Jewelry Bonney in the future of the story will be revealed to have some sort of history with Whitebeard, whatever that history might be. And I think that if we figure this out, it could be a huge clue and a huge cog in sort of forming other theories in the future as to understanding the world of One Piece and the future plot a little bit better. But as of now, I don't really see any ideas that are good enough to really say, this is right. This is the one that I want to believe. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Obviously it's mysterious, so if there's no other ideas, then then that's okay as well. But I do want everyone to keep in mind this relationship between Bonney and Whitebeard going into the future of One Piece, because I do think that it'll crop up again. So yeah, like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new to my channel and you want to be notified for my future content. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.